Welcome back to another episode of Kenan Kel with Adam and Aaron. It makes it sound like we did this every week, but we don't. It's very uncommon. I'm your distorted host, Adam.
What's up, party people? I'm your co-host, Aaron. The people love us, Adam. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. We've just had a very frustrating troubleshooting moment when my audio seems to be coming in terribly, despite having a brand new laptop and a brand new microphone. But we'll move past it, because being there is kind of all that matters sometimes. Isn't that right?
That's exactly right. You know, Adam, you know what they say, the shinier the things, the worse they are. Mm-hmm. And that's why I have been using the same microphone since I was born. This is a 1997 ATR USB microphone.
It's built into a VHS camcorder.
Yes, it is, actually. That's how we communicate. We actually...
I'm talking to Aaron in the past.
That's right.
I record footage
I mail
of
you
myself.
the VHS. You know, Adam, it's been so long since we podcasted. Your microphone and software.
It gave up.
You know, it gave up. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were still interested in me.
Like several Fantas, it's been like it's just banging on the door saying, when's the next episode? When's the next episode?
Yeah. And I appreciate all of you who did that, because I haven't been dodging things, but it's been a busy time recently. And yeah, so I am glad that we're finally sitting down, moving past all of our technical difficulties.
Moving past everything.
Diving back into the world of Kenan and Kel.
And there's been a lot that's happened in the past 5-6 months.
Oh my gosh, too long.
Why don't I catch you up with some Kenan and Kel news? It's very sad, Aaron. There's been a death in the family.
Oh no.
One of the members of the Good Burger family is no longer with us. Jan Schweiderman, also known as Kurt.
Oh, Kurt, that is correct.
Has left this earthly coil, has gone to the big grinder in the sky. J.P. Schweiderman, as his friends know him, had suffered an unfortunate blow in a battle with stage 4 cancer. I want to just get it out there that everyone was super nice and thankful to his work and his presence in the past. I think both Kenan and Kel had Instagram posts like lauding him for his great time on the program. Aaron, this is not our first death that we've discussed. We have also said waved goodbye to Coolio in the past.
We have.
And do you recall what we did to celebrate Coolio?
Did we go through the theme song line by line?
We did. I included the entirety of the Kenan and Kel theme song. Every second of Coolio's presence in Kenan and Kel was captured in that episode. So to honorate Jan Schweiderman, I want to do the same thing. Included here is...
Oh, please tell me it's every line.
Every
from
line
Good Burger.
Of Kurt
yes.
from Good Burger.
Thank God. Oh, there is hope. That's all I have to say. There is hope.
Some brave Fanta out there uploaded the entirety of Good Burger to YouTube recently. And it allowed me to scrub through and watch
More hope. It's everywhere.
Every Kurt scene. Honestly, I appreciated Jan so much more having seen it in this context of it's like, wow, he's really doing a great job of being this classic 90s villain.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yes. Roll the tape.
You. Who? You! Look at this mess. Oh, shut up. Just be quiet. Burn this into the front row of your brain, Chuckles. There's one thing Kurt cannot stand. It is an incompetent, bumbling, sloppy, fast food employee.
People, I'm fully stoked about being in charge of every single one of you. Within 2 years, Mondo Burger's going to be the biggest burger chain on this planet. Oh yeah. First, we gotta beat out our big competition across the street, Good Burger. From now on, your life is Mondo Burger. You can forget about your friends, you can forget about your family, because Kurt is now both your mother and your father. Who said that? Who talked while Kurt was talking? Well, I should have known. You think you're funny, don't you, bro? You know what? In Mondo Burger, there are no comedians. You mess with Kurt and you go into the grinder. That's it. You're gone. Adios, TKO'd. Historical. See? Security. Take out the trash. Let's get these moves out of my face. You want a piece of me? Man, this place is the most nauseating, pathetic hole I have ever seen. I mean, what kind of diseased maggot would you even consider eating here? Let's check it, boys. Right back there. It's the reject. Well, Ed, you better watch your butt, man. Yeah, I do. I just thought you Good Burger losers should be aware that tonight is the grand opening of Mondo Burger. The second we open our doors, Good Burger goes in the grinder. Yeah, sure, you can take my order. I'll have the very last Good Burger to go. Yeah! Is everybody liking my party? And now, I'm psyched to present to you people, Mondo Burger! And now, people, welcome to Mondo Burger. Yep, and I think pretty soon, they'll be closed for good. Unbelievable. 2 days ago, we had Good Burger crushed. Now look at him. Duh! I know that! You think Kurt's stupid? I want Good Burger out of business. Go find out what's in that sauce. I'm sick of these pukes. Shut up! You're not so fast with the trash truck now, are you, huh? Kitchen, make our burgers bigger. Bigger! Bigger! Now, let's see Good Burger go against burgers 3 times the size of their own. You all right, bro? Correct the mundo. Kurt Boswell. Can I give you a lift, Ed? Just get in the car, huh? Yeah. Ed, I'm gonna cut right to the chase. You have been working at Good Burger now for like, what, 3 years? And your manager still only pays you $5 an hour, man. Well, if $5 an hour is cool, how does $10 sound? $10. I want you to bail on Good Burger, and I want you to come and work for me at Mondo Burger. You make your sauce for Kurt. I'm Kurt. Whenever you're ready to come and work for me, you say the word. What's with this dude? I don't care. Now, Kurt's gonna get his sauce. I didn't come this far to let some tired crap shack like Good Burger get in my way. Bring in Roxanne. If anyone can get the sauce out of Ed, she can. I'm aware. It is illegal. Taranthol is way illegal. But I tell you what, it sure makes burgers nicer than normal. Uh-oh. Don't care, ladies. That is why nobody outside this kitchen is gonna find out. No, I'll keep your mouth shut. Okay, Hot Pants. No, I'm tired of playing games. I want to know what's in your sauce. I want to know what's in your sauce. That coils it. You guys are grass. Get our pal Wade on the phone. There's the fridge. Go get the sauce, dudes. Who are you? What are you doing here this late? Don't be rude to the elderly. The old man asked us a question. Now, it's called shark poison. It's gonna make all your little Good Burger customers very, very sick. You're not calling anyone. All right, punk! The game is over. Get it! Nice try, dudes. But you mess with Kurt, and you go in the grinder. Thanks, Holmes. This can's empty. What an idiot. Stole an empty can. The kitchen! Go, grill! We gotta stop the grill! What are you gonna put up on me, huh? What? I don't understand. None of this is my fault, okay? Listen, I can explain everything. It's all just a big misunderstanding. I don't understand. I don't know what happened. No, he's lying. You're lying. You're full of crap. Man, you're out of your minds. You're crazy, man. You know who I am, huh? Kurt's got a jam. Kurt's got a jam. Kurt's got a jam, jam, jam. Kurt's got a jam. Kurt's got a jam. Jam, jam, jam. Kurt's got a jam. Kurt's got a jam. Kurt's got a jam, jam.
Tan everywhere, Jan everywhere. Michael Scott. Rest in peace, Jan.
Thank you very much for your contribution to our lives. Aaron, there's been some more recent news in March.
Please tell me it's happy.
It's happy news. It's all happy news from here on
Okay.
out. Kel Mitchell had a panel at 90s Con.
Oh.
It's a convention that happens in Hartford, Connecticut. He had a whole panel being the only person on stage.
Oh.
Yes,
What kind of convention is held in Hartford, Connecticut?
a 90s Con where they celebrate, like, Nickelodeon and 90s icons and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so he did the entire panel in character as Ed.
That is unmatched.
Yes.
Nobody else could do that.
He announced 2 upcoming projects during that time.
Okay.
He talked about, first of all, Good Burger 3.
Yes.
They joked about the credits of the Good Burger 2, but no, they actually want to make more.
That makes me so happy. I think that makes everybody listening to this so happy. You get to hear us talk about Kenan and Kel yet again.
Aaron, I would like to commit to you. I would like to perform the same treatment of Good Burger 3 that we did for Good Burger 2.
Absolutely. Say no more. We will come back.
Yeah, I'm going to drive to your apartment, pick up some Arby's, and we're going to sit on the couch and watch a Paramount Plus picture.
I mean, could I drive to you this time and we maybe include the other member of your family?
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
We could do Arby's if they do that again. For some reason, they do that again. Wait, I have to say, I'm sorry. Last night, it was like midnight, and I watched a 10-minute Arby's, I think it was a roast beef. I don't know. No, not brisket sandwich review. And it was from this guy, like John is Hungry. Oh my gosh, it was the greatest review. I'm gonna send it to you. You need to watch
great.
it. It's like it's your kind of food review. I have to say.
I will include it in the description if anyone else wants to check out John is Hungry.
We should do that kind of food review for the next version of Arby's Good
Yeah.
Burger.
I agree. Good Burger 2 was the most watched movie on Paramount Plus, which is an accolade that they're kind of like, oh, that led us to the success of they want to make more. And right now, Kenan and Kel are discussing the script. So I hope they get Kevin and Heath back. It seemed like they had like loads of ideas for even more episode, installments.
Yeah, that's great.
But more important than that, Aaron, more important than that,
What could be more important than that?
Kel was discussing the potential of a Kenan and Kel revival.
No.
Having the 2 characters reprise their role as fathers to reflect their lives today.
No way.
Now, I can't speak as a first person witness to this. Only about half this 90s Con panel is on YouTube. That link is also in the description, but it gives me pause in that pitch. Because I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of reboot revival, projects. I've even seen one made by Paramount Plus. I saw the new Frasier that came out.
Oh.
That was our last year. That was Alex's pregnancy show. We watched lots and lots of Frasier. So when a kind of sequel series came out, we gave it a go, and it's fine. It's acceptable. Right. It's good, but something about it's really hard to go back into a project.
It's Fuller House episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned that, especially we talked about Kenan's his book that he wrote, his memoir last year, and how he doesn't even go back to look at Kenan and Kel to reflect on it. I wonder how much of that character and what we know and love from the series is still active in their imaginations, or if it's just going to be something entirely different with Kenan and Kel slapped on the cover.
Kenan did say he wants to do more coming of age work. Right.
That's correct.
And when we were talking about a Kenan and Kel reboot years ago, did I think I mentioned something like this, like they come back as fathers?
Yours was, I think your Time to Write episode, in that you pitched Kenan becomes back as a teacher.
That was when I was a teacher.
Yeah, I pitched Kenan and Kel both have daughters, and they have to they live together in Kel's house because Kyra's the breadwinner of their family. The first episode is a Thanksgiving revisit. I'm certain we can spend a whole episode talking about what we want from a reboot, where they can go wrong, what they should remember, lessons to go into it with. So I just want to commit as well. If Kenan and Kel comes back, our show will do what our show is built to do and review every episode of Kenan and Kel.
Oh, we're going to be right there. We're going to be on the cutting edge.
Despite how difficult, how challenging, it took us like I think it was 6 weeks. 6 weeks of failed attempts to do this episode.
So let me say though, we finished Kenan and Kel, talked about it for another 2 years, and then Good Burger 2 came out. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that fits the trajectory of my life because I caught up with The Office in season 6 when it was on TV. Mm-hmm. I think the first episode I watched live was Scott's Tots, and I stuck around. So that says something. And then I watched Breaking Bad like on Netflix on my phone in 2 weeks. And then I caught up in time to watch the second half of season 5 on TV. It's only fitting that that it comes back to life. The things that I love come back to life. That's what I have to say about that. Jesus Christ, being one of them. Don't cut that, please. Don't cut.
No, that's going in. That's fine.
I'm just spitball. I'm freestyling.
No, yeah. Hey, Aaron, this is a freestyling episode. I didn't know what to like pre-title this one. I was almost going to call this like type of episode why? Because we're approaching the show from new and exciting angles.
Yes, that's correct. We're on the cutting edge.
Yeah, haven't gone so long without call it new material. So enough of the news. Let's get right into our main topic. Scheming like Kenan is what I had called this. And Aaron, I have a problem.
Is it that you didn't call it Kenan be scheming?
No, because this isn't about Kenan. This is about me.
Oh, okay.
Aaron, I have become a schemer.
Okay.
I don't know if you know about this, but I have recently got into the eBay business.
I do know about this because over Christmas time you called me and you said, hey, I'm going to sell stuff on eBay. And I said, you need to know the secret. So I showed you the secret.
I don't know why. Maybe it's a recession indicator, but I suddenly decided like I have got to sell some stuff, get rid of some clutter, turn this junk into the money. And so I started selling things on eBay. And at the same time, I had found out that there's local auctions in my area that sell things for pretty cheap.
Oh, no.
So I came up with a scheme myself to be like, what if I'm a middleman and I buy things from local auctions and I sell them on eBay for a profit?
What could go wrong?
I'll tell you what could go wrong. Fees, Aaron. Fees could go wrong. Because auction houses, they charge a fee on top of what you buy the thing for, and then eBay charges a fee for what you sell things for. So it's kind of hard to make a profit. I think at the end of my endeavors, at the moment, I am currently broke even, and I have a couple things I would like to sell in my basement.
I am broke even. That sounds like Oppenheimer.
I am become broke even.
I am become broke even. Okay, so how many items have you purchased? How many items have you sold? Any memorable items?
Here's one that I'll bring up. At an auction near me, there was a...
Wait a second. What is an auction house like? Is it like everybody sitting in chairs, like plastic chairs, and then there's a guy up there with this junk, and he's just like, hey, who wants this golf club, 8-iron golf club? Who wants an 8-iron golf club? $1.
Those auctions do happen, but the ones I've been participating in are online auctions.
Okay.
The way they work is that you...
Wait, isn't that what eBay is? Wait, what? You started going on.
I'm not flipping things from eBay onto eBay. No.
eBay wasn't quite cutting it.
Despite being online, they're local pickup only. That's the special thing about it. You purchase the things, you go to like a half off store, and then you go into the weird back corner, and they're like, oh hey, yeah, we got your things, and you get them. The one I want to bring up is the Vizio watch that I bought.
Okay.
I looked at this watch online, and I saw it was going for like a little bit of money, and it was like, it sells for $200 or something like that. It'll sell, like a brand new one sells for $200. I'm like, oh, this is brand new. And it's going for like, $50. And I put in an offers, then by the time my final offer was accepted and added the fees on, I probably spent like $80 or so on this watch.
Okay.
Actually, it's more like $90. I spent like $90 on this watch. I go there to the place, and this is like this little warehouse, and this guy like goes into the back room, and I bought a couple things. He gives me like the stuff I bought. Then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out this watch that just a loose watch. That's all. And has like a $70 sticker on it. So I'm like, first of all, I overpaid. I should have just come to this place. Should have done no auction.
Yeah.
Second of all, I have no charger or anything for this watch, so I'm in trouble.
You have to buy a charger.
I bought the charger on eBay. I sold them together as a pair. And I don't know if you know this, Aaron, but watches are something that people love to haggle over. People love to lowball you and try and get a good deal on a watch. Eventually, I sold it for like, I don't know, like $3 worth of profit. Like it was nothing. I was just happy to be rid of it.
Hey.
Yeah. So it was a scheme that I had endeavored on that
the middleman
fell apart. Another scheme that came across my radar.
Wait. We're just gonna breeze past the auction scheme.
Yeah, the auction scheme.
Why are you doing that?
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm making a point, Aaron. I'm making a point.
Okay. Sorry.
Like I said, I've become a schemer.
Okay.
This is one scheme that I did, but
you just needed to do it. This is
one scheme does not a schemer make. A schemer engages in many different schemes.
Okay, so you have your New Year's resolution is to become a schemer.
I was looking at the hours of my local farmers markets.
Okay, this is a good start.
And I saw that there's a little tab there. There's like, buyers and there's sellers, people that go and they sell things. Mm-hmm. And it says applicants for regular season are closed. Exception, still seeking laundry/cleaning product vendor.
Okay.
So Aaron, I love my local farmers market. I don't know if you have this experience.
Yeah. We sell at markets, so sometimes we sell our beaded handicrafts at markets. Yeah.
They love having local products, and that's like our local one. They need local products in order to function.
Right. So produce, and then also crafts and vendors, and they like to have only 3 jewelry vendors, or else everybody and their mother would come with their handmade jewelry, and
Exactly. So the second they said like, hey, we don't have a laundry cleaning product vendor, I'm like, my mind start spinning.
Oh no.
I don't know where this energy comes from. I am a tired man, Aaron. I work hard. I take care of my son. I don't, for some reason, I have a well of energy when it comes to trying to get one over on the system. I'm like, how can I turn local products into cleaning products? And I'm looking around. I'm following some guides, and I realize like, oh, Pennsylvania, we're known for our corn. We got corn coming out the wazoo. Our biggest exports, we got loads of it. If I could acquire local corn, I can make local corn starch. Corn starch, a cleaning agent. People use it and mix it, and they get rid of stains. They use it in like spray bottles and clean up all kinds of stuff. I'm like, that's really cool.
Okay.
And then I took it a step further, and I said, well, PLA. That's a plastic material that most 3D printing stuff is based around.
Sure.
100% corn, entirely made from corn.
Oh, really? I thought it was plastic.
No,
I thought it was
corn.
Petroleum.
PLA is.
Wow. And it's recyclable, right?
100% recyclable.
Wow.
I realized that I could turn cornstarch into filament and turn that filament into objects. I can have a 3D printed stand at the local farmer's market using local corn. This scheme fell apart once I started looking at the prices of the
booths.
The cost of the booths, how much cornstarch I would have to buy, and I'm like, oh man, I would have to sell like 12 cornstarch things every day. People aren't buying those like they are like sausage biscuits and fresh produce. It's not selling like that stuff. Aaron, on this auction site,
what do you find?
There's all kinds of things that they sell. Like I saw one recently that they're selling arcade things. A nerd died and he was selling a bunch of swords.
A nerd died.
Like yeah, I'm not gonna get into it more than that. One of the people that was having an auction was like the local party vendor. Like they were selling tents and inflatable castles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the things they were selling was a portable ice cream, like little like Jolly Ollie man, like push carts.
Choco Taco. You mean
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that guy who walks on the
Orange
beach.
creamsicle. That guy must be dead, right?
He's-
He was like 90 when we were kids.
Aaron, I think he's always been dead. I think he is haunting the beach.
Fudgy Wudgy. The Fudgy Wudgy man.
Yeah.
That was his name.
I saw that being sold, a little cooler with like bike wheels, and my wheels are spinning. I'm like, this could be me. This could be my business venture. I could be selling ice cream to children around the neighborhood. It was at this point that I realized, Aaron, that I'm going through a 1/3 life crisis. My life has changed. I have a son now. He's pushing 10 months. I'm reaching out into different ways to make my life more interesting. I have become a schemer. I've come to you with this question that is scheming inherently bad? How can I turn this interest into good? I know I've been talking for probably the past 20 minutes straight.
No, this is great.
I want to say that on our program, we see Kenan. He engages in schemes that are often a parable. They're an Aesop fable about why kids don't do this. Don't try and get one over on people. Don't try and scam people. It's a bad thing. In the TV that I've been watching lately, it's been all kinds of schemers. It's not just Kenan. Better Call Saul is a show about like schemers.
Oh yeah.
The example that I thought of is through a series of circumstances, Jimmy McGill is selling cell phones.
Don't just brush over the buildup. He needs a job, right? So, and because he loses his law license because he schemed too hard, he goes and he gets a job at this place that's hiring, and it's this phone store that nobody ever goes into, and he's just sitting there idling for like 2 episodes. He's just like bouncing the ball up against the wall, and it's like something's gonna happen. So he's idling, waiting. Things are changing around him, and he paints on the windows of the phone store, Big Brother is watching. It's like...
Yes. These disposable phones are the only way to be secure in your transaction. And one of many schemes on the show.
So many good schemes.
Slip and falls are like a staple of the show.
Wait. Okay. I actually have a slip and fall story.
Oh, really?
I was driving the other day. I turned onto City Line Avenue near the beginning of it. And I'm driving, and I see some cars stopped in the middle of the road. I'm like, okay, that's not good. Maybe there was a fender bender, an accident. Slowly approaching, there's other cars around me. I'm being very cautious. And I see there's a guy reeling in pain on the ground. And there's a bike, perfectly intact bike, like laying right next to him. And there's this young woman who is on the phone, probably with the cops. She's in her car. Nothing looks damaged. And there's this guy like wriggling and reeling and like grabbing his hip and turning. And I saw it and I was just like, that is a guy who is not injured.
Yes, feigning an injury.
Yes.
Trying to pursue some kind of compensation.
Yes. I'm like, that is the greatest. Like, I saw it. I saw it right through it in that moment.
Classic example of a scheme.
Yes. A classic example of a scheme, and it was, and like that's the first episode of Better Call Saul. It's the kids on the skateboard getting hit by the car.
In the past 6 months, Alex and I have watched 13 seasons of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That is fantastic. Perfect thing to watch with a newborn.
But another show all about schemers.
Oh, yeah. My favorite.
They try and exchange airport mileage points for steaks.
Oh, yeah.
Which they scheme to contaminate and then sell back for cash.
Yes.
Yeah, and other various schemes to get on welfare and such like that.
Am I tell you my favorite Always Sunny scheme? Is that appropriate?
Please. Yeah.
I've been watching this show for many years. That is another show that I caught up and am now watching live. Not that hard because it's still running. Okay, the gas crisis.
Yes.
Okay, incredible. I mean, that's what I love about this show. They take a current event and they just run with it. It's satire through and through. So they fill up the barrels of gas. They just try going door to door selling it. And then there's the similar one, very similar, but like also just as good, the trash men. So they buy, they're like, what if we, people are having these trash issues. Like, what if we collected trash? So they dress up in tuxedos and suits, and they like load trash on this limousine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then there's the greatest, which is when they start working in the mailroom in order to get health insurance.
Yeah, always scheming, though. them always sunny folk. On TV, scheming is shown as a bad thing.
Yes.
You're skirting the law, playing fast and loose with what's acceptable, and thrown back to Kenan Kel. Kenan's doing this all the time. He schemes how to not go to school and instead have fun all day long. He schemes, how do I replace a cake that I destroyed?
Mm-hmm.
How to replace a bird that Kel ate? How to replace a bird that I killed? It's something that's always on his mind, and I thought it's a perfect venue for us to discuss this. Scheming, how would you define it?
So when I hear scheming, I hear trickster. So if you're familiar at all with the work of Carl Gustav Jung and the Jungian analysts, Carl Jung has this idea that there are archetypes. So there's these archetypes that fit with, people can kind of embody these different archetypes, and that these archetypes are represented in humanity through different symbols that occur like in our dreams, or symbols that occur, different psychological phenomena that happens. So one of the archetypes is the trickster. And I pulled up a little bit on it because I think the trickster really does resonate here with scheming.
I was going to just list a couple examples if that's where you're
Yes,
headed.
that'd be great. Yes.
Schemers, you might know some such as Loki from mythology.
Yes, correct.
Thor's brother, who gets into all kinds of mischief. Also, in more recent years, you have your Bugs Bunny, classic trickster.
Ah, nice.
Who will often win, depending on the director, I suppose, but when presented with an opportunity, will make sure that no one gets the better of him. I only have two.
Okay. All right. So here's just some key characteristics of the trickster archetype. Okay. There's just a couple here. So duality, right? So a trickster, they're both wise and they're foolish, and we see that in Kenan, right? He has an idea, he sees through the system,
smart enough to have an idea, but dumb enough to not think it through.
Correct. That's a trickster, right? So there's this duality here, playful and malicious, right? There's a little like Loki, right? Cunning and deceptive.
Kenan, known for setting pranks and stuff like that. I think I recall literally when he swapped Kel's hypnotist intel with the dog, he put his hand over his head and started like laughing. That is a trickster through and through.
That's right. Yes, a little mischievous laugh, right? Mischief is a great way to think about scheming and the trickster. Then there's this idea of the boundary crossover. Okay, so like the trickster defying social, moral, and cosmic rules, challenging authority and convention. I'm thinking another really good example of a trickster is the Joker.
Yeah.
Right? So playing with this shadowy world of dark forces and challenging like the very fundamental nature of a system, of society, right? Like this whole game is rigged, right? And that's what the Joker card is. It's like, oh yeah, wild card. As Charlie says when he cuts the brakes, which is me and Camille's favorite line to say when we're just getting into any trouble. But yes, it's this idea that like totally disrupting the way things are, because guess what? The way things are is actually unjust.
Yeah, there is a version of the trickster that's like, oh, this is actually kind of good for society, isn't it?
Yes.
Someone to highlight that things don't feel right all the time.
Yes.
That what the norm is isn't the way things should be.
Yes, there. Another characteristic is a catalyst for change, right? So a trickster is somebody who pulls off a scheme, does something elaborate and thought out that changes things for good or bad, right? Here's an idea. Here's an example of a bad scheme. Enron.
Yeah, Enron, perfectly good bad scream.
Bad scheme, right? People lost everything because these people were just stealing and embezzling and running a Ponzi scheme, right? Any kind of a pyramid scheme is very bad. You're manipulating people. You're taking advantage of people.
Yeah.
But what about a good scheme?
I'm trying to think of the word for it. Is it like a plan?
I think a scheme, a true scheme, has a plan. I think what makes Kenan and Kel fun is that in this 22-minute exploration of a fun sitcom, the schemes never go well, right?
Yeah.
But I think, a scheme could be well thought out, step by step by step. I mean, it doesn't take that much to go from Luna Tuna to saying, how could this go wrong? And how can we protect our downside here?
Yeah.
Right? Kenan doesn't do that, but a good scheme can be well thought out. Or a scheme in general, good or bad.
I guess a scheme, I think, is often powered by vices. Things like greed are what's drive most money-based schemes. It's like, Kenan wants to get rich quick. You're a classic scheme. He wants to cut all the steps to get there, all the hard work, and just go right for the guts of it. He doesn't care about living his life normally and earning income and then buying a house. He just wants to try and win a house really quickly.
Yes. You have, now you're entering into the realm of the people on X who are like, how to get rich without getting lucky, right?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. It's the internet personalities who want people to... they want to control and manipulate because they have a scheme to themselves get rich, and they get rich off of other people's ignorance.
Yeah, right. They're scheming that you think that their scheme is worthwhile.
The vice thing, right? I think vices, if I stick with the Jungian and the trickster, the vices would be a shadow. Now, vice has a very negative connotation. It's like it's that thing you do when nobody's watching.
Yeah, but then when you see Grand Theft Auto Vice City, great game. How can that be negative?
No, that's right. That's exactly the point. Well, it's gambling and addiction, alcoholism, all of the things that you think of, all like a classic vice, right? So vices, they're like bad habits you could think of. But where does that come from? That's where the Jungians come in and say, well, every person has a shadow. And no matter how much shadow work you do, no matter how much, work on yourself you do, that shadow is still going to be there. You're never going to not have a shadow. What do, right? You have these vices and these shadows and these things that you can't control. Yeah. So what you do is you look at them and you shine a light on them, and then you dive in and you figure out how to live with them in a way that is truly in balance of light and darkness, because they're a part of you. And if you just ignore them, then you're totally cutting off oxygen to a part of yourself that traces all the way back to some kind of an early trauma or some kind of pain you experienced that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're talking about. Perhaps my eagerness to engage in all these different schemes on my front is a bit of me running away from my current responsibilities and trying to eagerly put energy into something else that kind of engages my creativity, which is on ice in the current arrangements that my family's in.
That's correct. I think that you just nailed it, right? That's what these schemes are. You want to scheme, you want to plan,
yeah.
You want to plot, you want to make it to the top because it gives you something else. It gives you something else to think about. It gives you it's an escape for your mind. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's fun. You're like, you want to do, people have hobbies for a reason, especially when they get older and they've already raised their kids. It's like, well, now what do you do with your time? I think it's a normal thing to go through, to want to do all of these different things. I also find myself like, we didn't mention this yet, but I have a wedding coming up.
Oh, yes.
End of summer.
Mm-hmm. And you find yourself 100% of the time thinking about the wedding, right? You don't do any kind of distractions whatsoever to break away from wedding planning.
That's right. I'm the perfect fiance. Yes. No, of course, my mind goes in different ways. And just recently I've gotten involved with this other volunteer group that I'm scheming a little bit with this group because it's like, it's a really good group. It's like, they're kind of environmental focused, but they're also, like in the Catholic world. And so I'm getting involved with this group, and then, I see a lot of potential with it for how to work with different like schools, parishes, universities, how to like design like really good things. For me, all of that feels like a scheme. Like it does. It feels like I'm scheming in a way. It's like I'm behind the scenes, not getting paid, volunteering, trying to like take this thing that was built by this group of people that are really good people. And like, I would like to see their thing fulfilled. And I also get enjoyment out of planning and plotting and setting up meetings and making introductions. And it's like the networking world, right? And I'm in it because I think churches should be involved in caring for their environment, even just the environment of their property. Same thing with schools.
Oh, yeah, sure. I think a green message is very valuable for anyone that has a property.
Yes, exactly. Anybody who owns property. And guess what? The Catholic Church owns a ton of property, and they don't have that mindset. So it's a good end, right? And this goes back to the question, like, can a scheme be good? It's like, I think what I'm doing is kind of scheming. And it's a fun scheme. It's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like put the right people around the table. I'm going to make right introductions. I'm going to like, what's the path to get from here to there? And then along that way, it's like, you could see it as like making a plan and setting goals, but it's much more fun to think of a scheme because then you're step by step, like allowing it to unfold as you go.
There is an energy that comes from being kind of sneaky. There's an energy that comes from going like, yeah, yes, purchase these Lincoln logs I bought locally for $5.
You don't know that I bought them for $5. You don't know that I stole them from my parents' house. You don't know that my son won't be playing with Lincoln logs.
All true. I guess what you're saying is that if your end goal is something positive, then it's okay if you scheme.
Well, that goes into the end justifies the means. And I don't always think end justifies the means is right. I'm actually not that big of a fan of that, whatever that utilitarianism is called. Because I think like you can scheme with love. Actually, I think you can scheme with like, not necessarily love, or just you can enjoy things. Not everything needs to be tied to this like cosmic battle of good and evil. Like if you like it, that's great. And if the end goal is you broke even, I mean, that's fine too. Or what if you do, what if you go on one of these sales and you meet somebody that becomes a friend? I mean, you don't actually know how it can unfold. But I think the fact that you're tapping into that creative, a little bit mischievous energy, it's a good thing, especially right now where you need a little bit of an outlet.
Yeah, my goal is never to rip off anyone or anything like that.
No.
And honestly, I do not see myself opening up a 3D printed cornstarch or cleaning cornstarch business.
Yeah, that one was a stretch. Okay, so I did this this workshop once. We were in a group, and one of the activities was come up with 100 business ideas.
Oh, wow.
So just you sit down and you come up with 100 ideas for businesses, and they're not all going to be good.
No,
right. I heard of one entrepreneur once in the morning in his like a morning journaling session, he would write down 10 business ideas every day. Yeah. And then this other guy, Seth Godin, and his friend Chip Conley, who was one of the founders of Airbnb, they went to Princeton and they went to the anthropology like they would meet with this group every Thursday in the anthropology department or something like that. And so they associated the anthropology department with like unbound, like creativity. And all they would do the whole time is come up with business ideas. Like they came up with thousands and thousands of business ideas.
Gives you the opportunity to identify more and generate more. You're just practicing business idea generation.
Right. And with that comes thinking about the world, because like if you're thinking about business and then you're like, oh, how about a robot car? It's like, wait, does that exist? And then you do a little research and you're like, I just learned a little bit of something about the robot car market. But I think the idea of like your ideas, it's not only that you have the idea, you did something with the idea, right? You turned it into reality. You had a thought and you manifested the thought. You did something in the world. I think that is what most people don't ever get to. They're doing something in the world is like, I'm going to get into crocheting. So they order the crocheting stuff, they try it for 20 minutes, and then they never use it again.
Yeah.
Right?
I will say that most of my writing endeavors over the past 10, 12 years are in that category of like, I wanted to do a thing. It didn't really come to fruition. I agree with what you're saying. The fact that something could happen so quickly is honestly what's been driving all these schemes. It's like, I can just say yes, I keep bidding on this, and I will have an ice cream cart.
Yes. That could be mine. That could be my son's wagon.
That reality is just a couple clicks away. I think that's a good way of putting it, and that's a good way of being positive about schemes, and something that I think Kenan actually does right is that his schemes are very realizable. He doesn't like scheme greater than he's capable of. He says, we have in our hands ingredients that will make a common cold concoction.
And he could do it in 22 minutes.
All his schemes are built from that jumping off point.
This is the thing. It's about body of work. Like anything. Like that's what my track coach used to say. He used to hold his hands out, like a shoulder width, and he'd say, body of work. If you'll have one bad workout, but the fact that you're out here working out day after day after day, that's what makes you a good runner.
Like an average thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the schemes, it's like auctioneering might not be something, right? I mean, I used to have in college, I started a fitness business called Flow Training, okay? It didn't go anywhere. But guess what? When I was doing that scheme, and creating an exercise database and filming this, we literally made an exercise database of like 120 workouts, me and my friend, and we filmed videos of it and made like a product, and I sold some of these products on like ClickBank, like I was learning from internet marketers from like the early 2000s. It was a stupid idea because it was like the pandemic was happening. If I had just started recording my videos and putting them on YouTube, I might have been a fitness influencer, but I was never supposed to be a fitness influencer, and I never wanted to do that. Like I just wanted to like try something. I took the skills of making a website, and then when I got to the charity I work at, I redid the website. And it's resulted in a bunch more donations because we actually have an online presence. So, I mean, it's not always one for one like that, but the idea of like getting some momentum, doing something positive, creating something in the world, that's a good thing. Yes. And the fact that you like it is just as important. If you like the feeling of like, ooh, what if I can get that? It's like, just, you don't have many things like that. So go for it.
To your point, even the chase of a scheme, even the like running there is an experience of itself, and it's
yes,
you're building up skill sets in doing that. Just today, my friend asked me, he's like, "Hey, I'm trying to sell like collectible cards. Is eBay a good marketplace?" And I was able to tell him immediately, like, here's what'll happen, here's what's good, here's what's bad.
Yeah.
Like right out of the bat. Alex was asking me about selling like her old PlayStation 3. I'm like, I know exactly how to properly pitch that in that
right
environment. I am about to buy a grill cover at an auction because I know that I could get a way better deal there. The experience of running a scheme is something that could power you.
Yeah.
In future stuff. And that's actually
and future schemes.
Future schemes.
I just go from scheme to scheme.
In living them, there's something to learn. And that's worthwhile.
But it's not all skill acquisition and learning. You can do things just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can drink coffee just because you like the taste of coffee, not because it's going to provide you all of these health benefits. That's like the end justifies the means in a way. It's like you're always thinking about the end. You're always thinking about the end. It's like, no, just enjoy the process.
There's another definition of experience that's in just like the LinkedIn version of it. Sometimes you just gotta like live things and feel things out. That's something that I am very envious of right now when I have less time than I used to. I've just like laid back in bed one day and just been like, I want to live. I want to do all kinds of things.
And some days you just need to lay in bed.
Yeah.
Cutthroat entrepreneurs, and those people who are like military-esque, they're going to be like, no days off, but you don't need to be like especially if you don't want to do that, it's good to get momentum, and momentum begets momentum. And if you have a victory, it's a good feeling. I mean, I used to do flipping in college. So Camille and I would go to yard sales and like just find stuff and buy it and sell it. And, you accumulate things you don't need, and then you have a bunch of junk that you can't sell. So you just need to eventually you're going to need to throw stuff away, and it's a bad feeling. Or just hide it in a box that you hide somewhere and then forget about it, which I've done too. But I found these cool lanterns from World War II.
Oh, wow.
Foldable lanterns, 2 of them. I bought them for $5, like $5 total. I sold them each for $40. That was worth the whole experience, because I saw something, I said, that's valuable. And I had a lot of losses before that. But that moment I was like, that right there is valuable. I love the idea of like finding hidden treasure. And speaking of finding hidden treasure, here's a scheme that you will remember and will make you feel like there are good schemes out there. It's in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, when Jack Sparrow needs a boat.
Yes.
His boat sank. He like arrived and his boat sank. And then he's like on the land and people realize it's him. And, he's like a pirate. And he eventually takes a boat out to the Interceptor, which is like the fastest boat.
He and Will are just two men trying to get a whole boat ready to sail. And the Interceptor pulls up being like, you're not leaving with that boat.
Right.
So their scheme is essentially to hop from the boat that's not ready to go to the Interceptor, which is ready to go, and immediately take off. Meanwhile, they've rigged the unready boat to crash into the lifeboat that's approaching them.
Yeah, and he's a pirate, right? I mean, his whole persona is the trickster, and he's such a good character. He has a good heart. He cares. He loves. He his compass follows what he most desires. He doesn't care about the end. He's just living, and I think that's the key. We don't always need to be caught up in what is this gonna get me. What is my. So I think take stock of. What's your end result here? Like, are you doing it because you're trying to get rich, or are you doing it because you like doing it?
Yeah.
That is just as good of a reason to scheme.
Yeah, sometimes it's not always about what the end is, but it's about what's next. What's the next great thing you can do?
Because it is fun to scheme.
This has been a very great conversation. I'm glad we've had it. I know it's a little different than what we usually do on our show, but hey, you want an episode, so this is what you get. There's no Kenan Kel out there.
This is all we got.
Aaron, before we head out, I'd like to swing on by the Fansicam, if you don't mind.
Sure, let's do it.
This year, I would like to celebrate a community of Kenan and Kel fans out there called r/Kenan and Kel. This is the subreddit that's devoted to Kenan and Kel content. I want all the fans listening to rush over there and please post, because there is I want to say only a handful of Kenan and Kel fans that are doing their darndest to crank content out and keep that community alive. It is a light in the darkness when it comes to K&K. There's a couple people that, in particular, you fit information 544. Just someone that is hyper focused on the community and is constantly posting what's the best Cheryl moment? Oh man, Kenan Kel really got into this one at this moment. And there's also the user OwnSwimmer2533 who shouted us out specifically, saying, "Hey Adam and Aaron, wins the next podcast episode. So we're listening. I want everyone that listens to this show to go over there and engage with the community. Share your favorite Kenan Kel moments. Talk about the things that this podcast like has brought up in your fandom. I think there's still a lot of meat left on the bone of Kenan Kel fans that we can all explore there together.
Absolutely. I'm sure some of those posters are listening right now if you've made it through this episode that is non-traditional. We have some traditional episodes, a backlog of them. Go and listen to your favorite one, your favorite episode. Yes, it's been a fun, Adam. I like this style of podcast. It's like I'm dipping my toes into what's next in the podcast world.
Thank you for joining us in this philosophical discussion. There's a couple episode ideas that I have for us, but let's see when next we'll be able to coordinate this.
Yeah, maybe next month.
Yeah, maybe so. Here's one that I'll spoil for you. It's getting our favorite book pal Wesley on, talking about Kel's recent book.
Oh, let's do it. Oh, I miss Wesley.
Yeah. We got to catch up with him at least once a year.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Awesome. I will engage with him in philosophical discussions as well. I think he'd participate.
So tune in for that or future Kenan and Kel projects. Like I said, we'll eventually be back for Good Burger 3
and the reboot.
Stay subscribed.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Until next time. Here it goes.
Thank you for listening. You can send us an email at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at anchor.fm/KenanKelPodcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all at KenanKelPodcast.
Why?
Why don't I catch you up with some Kenan and Kel news?
That's more Mario Kart, but go ahead.
Ding, 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 done.
I'm very anxious now that you did that countdown. So Mondo Burger, as we've discussed several times before, Mondo Burger was so much more than just a burger joint down the street. It was representative of corporate influence in the late 90s and the end of the American dream. And Kurt, you were on the forefront of that. But Jan, you can rest easy knowing that Mondo Burger closed anyways, and there was nothing you could have done. That's not a very nice tribute.
Probably going to cut that out.